I would say for the new affiliate, if you would like to focus on LATAM, just pick a niche and concentrate on the real community and build the trust with your audience. This is essential.
You're listening to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast, powered by Affiverse, ultimate destination for affiliate program news, insights, growth opportunities, partnerships, and affiliate program strategy. Welcome to this week's edition of the Affiliate Marketing Podcast with me, your host, Leanne Johnston. And I've got two really interesting people on the pod with me today to talk about a really big emerging market, the LATAM market, and what's been happening there, and just to share some insights and learnings about the type of marketing that you need to be doing there if you're an affiliate or affiliate manager, and just talk a little bit about this emerging market that everybody's been looking at, but nobody's really cracked yet. So joining me on the podcast is Nir and Jana. They're both from Exness. I'm going to hand over the mic to let them introduce themselves. Maybe I'll start with Jana. Ladies first. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself, how you got into affiliate marketing, and then we'll hand the mic over to Nir to do the same.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jana. I'm affiliate marketing lead at Exness, and I've been working in digital marketing for over 15 years and in affiliate marketing for over past 6 years. I, together with Nir, we represent Exness affiliate team, and I'm really glad to be here and be invited to the podcast of Leanne again, and hopefully to share with you some insights about affiliate marketing.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Nir, over to you. Tell us a little bit about how you landed into affiliate marketing and what your journey's been.
So I'm Nir, also from Exness, managing the team together with Jana. I've been with Exness for 7 years, in the team for 6 years since we launched our CPA offer. In the industry for around 20 years, give or take. And we've been doing that for the past 6 years, yeah.
So a lot of experience in partnership and affiliate marketing, which is great. And I'm going to tap into both of your areas of expertise shortly. But to just set the scene about LATAM, it's a massive market. It has been an emerging market that everybody has been looking at for a very long time. What do you guys think makes LATAM such an exciting frontier for trading affiliates right now?
Absolutely. So Latin America is an incredible, dynamic, and fast-growing market for all niches in affiliate marketing and particular in trading. But what makes it really exciting, that it has a young and mobile-oriented audience. And you know what? These people who are really engaged in online, they have eager to explore their financial opportunities, a hunger for finance independence. And because of this energy, market is so attractive for the new brands.
Yeah, I can see that. And it's been emerging for quite a while, but I think there's certain parts in LATAM that are more emerged than others, and we'll get into some of that later. But Nir, why do you think LATAM is so exciting right now, especially with the CPA offer that you've recently just released?
We do see a lot of opportunities there under CPA. That's why we decided to offer there a strong offer. We pay up to $960 in some of the countries. The traffic, we find the traffic quality to be very high, so it's worth the investment from our side.
And I mean, the program's grown from 18 countries to 115 in a remarkably short time. So from 18 to 115, that is like a massive global scale. And that cannot be done quickly or without a lot of planning and organization. Like that's not just organic growth. That's a lot of active marketing that's happening to get you to that global scale. I think you told me, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've got about 75,000 publishers and partners in your affiliate program, in the entire affiliate mix that you work in. What are the key inflection points that enabled this expressive growth? Because I think a lot of people listening to this podcast are looking to have that kind of growth. You guys have managed together to do that in a very short space of time. What are some of the key things that have allowed you to actually have that expansive growth so quickly?
I think that first and foremost, we have a great product. I do get a lot of feedback from clients, from affiliates, from everyone in the industry that our product is good. So that's the basic part, the first step to a healthy affiliate offer. And then we started localizing, and then we found LATAM to be an emerging market. So we put a lot of efforts there, and that works very well.
Yeah. Jana, what about from your perspective? What do you think were the big inflection points that made you grow so quickly? Because I remember speaking to you maybe 4 years ago, and the team wasn't as big as what it is now. That's really explosive growth in a short period of time.
Yeah, so first of all, the whole company grew very fast at that point of time. So we expanded across all regions, to be honest. And one of the main focus was LATAM. It's a big piece, the big chunk of the market, and most progressive brands, they started to develop these markets as well. That's why we opened the office in one of the country there. We have a dedicated team, and it helped us to develop the market quite successfully.
You mentioned localization. Everybody talks about that in marketing. If you want to get into a new market, you want to get your marketing strategy correct, they always talk about hiring local people on the ground, talking about localization. What are some of the things that you learned in that journey? Because often as marketers, we go, oh, we can just translate it and then it will work. But there's a lot of sort of inflection points, especially in LATAM being such a broad and long and wide market. Like what happens at the north of LATAM and the south of LATAM are completely different. So what are some of the things that you guys have learned on that marketing journey as you've grown your program exponentially in such a short space of time?
Yeah, so first of all, the market is really huge and it's very different from country to country. And each country has a unique culture nuances. And at Exness, we go beyond just the basic localization. To be honest, we focus more on the building trust and sense of community. For example, we launched our LATAM specific social media channels for affiliate partners and worked with regional influencers and bloggers to create this engagement. What's really interesting and how much emotional connection matters in LATAM, because if you focus on this vibe, on this educational content performance, and if you feel the people and make it relevant to your audience, it brings a result. So you need to focus on this cultural nuances and specifics.
Yeah. And Mira, from your perspective, what have you seen? Because you obviously talk to a lot of people in that region as well, in the partnerships that you build. And it really is a long-term strategy that you guys have taken, because that education piece, often when we take brands to new markets, we want to hit it hard and drop the money to get the results, pay to play almost. But you guys haven't taken that approach, taken a really slow entry to market, understand the cultural nuances. As you said, you've even translated your social media channels into the localized languages. How did that have an effect with some of the partners coming to you? Did they naturally find you organically? And did you do that long-term plan specifically to find the organic reach and bring those people in slow? Or did you couple that with like aggressive paid advertising above the funnel? How did you build that strategy?
I think it's the same mindset of what I'm telling a lot of affiliates. Our offer is not get rich overnight. You work with us, it's a very, very long-term partnership. This is what we're looking with our affiliates, and this is what we're looking with our clients, with our traders. We want them to stay with us as long as they can. So this is why we didn't come and spend a lot of money and waiting to do, double it within 3 months. We have 3-year plans, we have 5-year plans. And again, as you mentioned, it's very different between the countries. It's even the language is different. We hired local people, Spanish-speaking ones. They know the industry. They can easily communicate with the affiliates. We created and tailored specific CPA offers for that region. And this created, along with what Yana said, with the social media and everything, this created kind of a way where they come to us and they want to work with us.
So was that passive marketing? In our industry, we're always aggressive in terms of we need to be bigger, brighter, bolder, faster. But you guys have, you're a big brand. So that also helps. Most people listening to this are like, but everybody's heard of Exness. But that's not actually what you were resting your marketing strategy on for this program. To grow from 18 countries to 115 in such a short space of time and have representation literally across the globe, you've taken more of a passive marketing approach by really getting in deep and going slow and building your partnerships as you grow as well, which it bucks the trend of the industry, because we see big flash, big events, lots of money being spent, lots of marketing budget, branding, whereas you guys have sort of like looked at the market and gone, okay, for us to stand out and to actually build long-term partnerships, which is what our ethos is. And that really speaks right down to like the people that I speak to at events that are in your team. They all have the same ethos of, this isn't a short-term game. We're playing a long-term game. So therefore, we want to invest in all the attributes that need to happen for those partnerships to exist. And to me, that's why I wanted to bring you on the podcast, to actually show people that there's a different way. It doesn't have to always be aggressive and fast. It can happen organic and slow. But to do that, there are certain things that need to happen. And you mentioned that you've implemented a global strategy. Can you break down what that practice is? Because you alluded to the fact that Argentina is different to Brazil, is different to some of the other, even though LATAM is a region, they are all very different. So how did your team approach that? Did you sit down and have a strategy for each country within LATAM? How did you do the slow pace? Because it's easier to go fast. It's harder to go slow, if that makes sense. How did you guys approach that?
I think it's a combination. First of all, not every country in LATAM needs the same attention. Some of them are much smaller, so it doesn't worth the efforts. So we do check each and every country. We see the trends. We check what our competitors are doing there. It doesn't matter from where the affiliate comes. They will get the same tools. We will give them the same creatives, of course, localized. But in terms of what we give them, it's the same. Then once we went globally, we can look locally and see if we can tailor specific campaigns. It can be fixed CPA, it can be hybrid, it can be rev share, it can be many things. In LATAM, we were able to find what they need.
But by having conversations, by actually slowing it down and not assuming what you wanted your partners to have, but actually asking them what do they need.
Yeah, we tailored our offer to their need.
You mentioned also about creative, and I wanted to bring that point up because when we spoke about how you have segmented your program, you've got over 8,000 promotional assets. Now, normally, I would tell people, keep it simple, stupid. Don't overwhelm your affiliates with too much content. You've even done a cinematic campaign, the Born to Trade campaign, which was really innovative and different. How do you balance creating universally appealing creative content while providing localized Spanish assets for LATAM as well? Do you have to really get granular when you're trying to attack that market as a whole and have so many assets because there are so many cultural and language difference nuances that are happening in that space? Why did you go with so many creative? Because most programs wouldn't. So what was the thought process behind having so much?
So first of all, these thousands of assets, including banners, landing pages, videos, widgets, and everything, the amount of these assets globally, not only localized. So all our affiliates, they can choose, depends on their sizes, categories, and types of assets. But why we do them? It's basically because we would like to support, as you said, our global campaign, Born to Trade campaign, which was outstanding in my point of view. And it tells the universal story about the ambitions, risk, and taking control in trading. So we showcase the real traders, our core audience that we would like to focus on. And it was localized on the Spanish and Portuguese, of course, for the specific needs of Latin audience. And it what really drives the results in this region. It's actually the educational materials and content focus on the trading product, such as CFD. So these short-term videos, they perfectly match, for example, for TikTok, on other social media, because the audience is very young. And we need to admit that the trading is really complex and you need to be very engaging in order to engage with the audience. And the video format is one of the most relevant format for this audience. That's why we produce the pretty much big range of us.
Yeah. So do you use like tools for that, or do you have in-house teams that actually do that? Because people listening to this who've got smaller marketing teams that might be going, yeah, that's great for a big brand, but how does that apply to me?
Yeah, first of all, we have an amazing marketing team and we have an in-house creative team who helps us to create all this content. But at the same time, we offer to our affiliates the opportunity to make the custom assets for them as per their request. So it's always an option for them.
So again, you're enabling your partners to actually help themselves, which has helped with that exponential growth.
And they also can produce their own materials, but they need to
get them checked with you guys.
Yes, check with us, actually. So we have a lot of options for them in terms of the creatives, and it's also very convenient for our affiliates and partners.
So we've spoken about some of the challenges, and I'm coming to you next, because when we spoke, you spoke about even payment infrastructure, regulatory complexity, trust issues. Those were some of the biggest things that you guys had to get over when you were attacking this market. What are some of the biggest obstacles that you faced in establishing credibility for XNES in the LATAM market? Because I think that is, before you start getting flashy with all of the campaigns and everything else, you need to build that trust. So how did you overcome some of those obstacles?
I think the most important part was when we introduced daily payments. As soon as the client needs to be paid to the affiliate for bringing him to us, we pay. The next day he gets money. He doesn't need to wait for the next month, for the, net 30, net 60. I don't know how other companies are working. This created a lot of trust. And not only that, they also have money to reinvest. They don't need to wait until the end of the month and sit on the balances, the P&L, to make sure they've made money. They already know how much they're going to get.
How did you mitigate the risk, though?
First of all, we did a lot of research. We know what we're dealing with, and we're not paying just for introducing. We need to see the activity. We have a very interesting offer. So we do pay, but we make sure we have enough guards in place to make sure that we won't get too much wood and we won't pay for nothing.
So I want to be careful here because people listen to this and they take what you say as gospel. You can move your program to a faster payment cadence. However, you need to have the data to mitigate the risk of fraud and chargebacks and anything else that might impact your business, because we have a very broad audience of listeners on this podcast. Depending on what industry you're in, it is advisable to try and pay affiliates faster because, as you can see here, it builds trust faster, especially in newer markets where your brand isn't established, but it also opens you up to risk. So you've got to have those conversations internally with your finance team, with your C-level suite, and understand what is going to be relevant for your business. But in this case, it was one of the things that actually helped you to build trust along with that educational process and really like localizing down and making sure that you weren't treating the whole market as one. Those are the three common things that I've extracted out of the strategy that you guys have had to have that huge global growth. Let's talk about building the dream team, okay? Because to get this global growth from going from 18 countries to 115, you obviously had to scale your teams very quickly. Now, the affiliate team has grown from a handful of people to 11 professionals all around the world. A lot of affiliate managers listening to this podcast will want to understand, how did you actually manage that scale so quickly? Because to integrate new people into the team, to make sure that they're set up, to make sure that they're running efficiently, that they're following the guidelines of what the core program is offering, how did you guys manage that strategic growth?
So yeah, first of all, we did grow tremendously, both teams, Jana and myself, and we work very closely and support each other. At the beginning, we did work globally. Everybody did everything. The affiliate manager could be from Thailand and he could manage LATAM and vice versa. But once we started growing, we understood that they need much more closer attention, own language, a friend. They need someone to speak to. I guess usually it's easier to speak in your own language for some reason. So yeah, we grew the team. First of all, each one can still work globally. There's no boundaries there, but each of them is focusing on his own turf. So we have Arabic speaking from MENA and GCC, of course, LATAM, which we're discussing right now. We have Spanish speaker and Portuguese. We have Southeast Asia people. We're trying to really to be close with everyone, as close as you can.
So as you onboarded a new account manager, you would give them an area of specialism to focus on, whether it's their localized country, whether it's whatever their portfolio experience and expertise was. How did you break the program down? Did you break it down by traffic source? Did you break it down by geo? Did you break it down by language? Because this is a really big thing that most people struggle with when they're growing a big team, is how do we actually divvy up the resources? And how do you recruit resources in to complement the team that you already have? Because it's difficult. I've grown programs globally as well. And you get a core set of people in the team and you all start gelling together and working together. And then all of a sudden you add a new person in and everybody has to restructure and think, oh, how are we going to work this? So what were some of the key things that you guys put in place to make that transition and growth easier?
I think we take it step by step. We're trying not to make huge changes every time a new person, a new teammate comes to the team. We support them. We try to teach them. We try to learn what they can bring to the table. And if they have some kind of a connection to a specific region, they can get the lead on it. We are also working globally because in many cases, we will work with very big, and it doesn't matter which company, where the company comes from, and they will bring global traffic. They won't bring traffic only from that specific country. So we need to be localized, but we also need to be globalized.
Because there's a lot of cannibalization that happens in bigger teams where, especially if you are targeting your team based on targets, there's a snatch and grab attitude that ends up happening where it's like, that's my affiliate. I need to make my targets, so you can't touch that affiliate. But you hit the nail on the head. Most global affiliate programs that are starting to really scale, it's difficult to box an affiliate into, okay, you're a LATAM affiliate. Okay, you're a US, because affiliates have got traffic from everywhere, right? So how do you manage that in-team cannibalization, but also spur it on because you want them to be hunters and growers? It's a really difficult management tactic.
It's a really good question, but it's been a few years that we're doing that. I know how to set the team's KPI for them not to fight about leftovers.
I think that the only competition that we have is just during the events when they have the open floor and a lot of affiliates around and they need to just hunt them. This is a real way situation with a real competition, yes. But at the same time, I need to say that all our team members are very supportive. And once the newcomer is joining our team, we have this buddy program when you teach the newcomer and explain everything and you really want them to succeed because in our company, we say that we succeed together. So basically we're all in one boat. We do the one thing and we have our team KPIs as well, not just individual KPIs. That's why everybody is really engaged and have the focus on the main goal.
I love that. I love that you built that culture of team collaboration as well as the individual, because most successful young affiliate managers that come into the industry, they're salespeople. They want to go out and get targets and make bonuses and do things. And when you structure a big, huge global team, it's easy when there's only 3 of you and you're all managing one program. But when there's 11 of you managing 115 countries, you got to start getting more tactical about how you put this team together and how you encourage them to grow, but also not kill the competition. The only competition is external, not internal. So I like the fact that you've done individual KPIs and you've also done team KPIs, but you've also got a buddy system so that when people come in, they're not feeling alienated because there's an existing hierarchical system of people that have worked together for 3 years. It's hard being the new kid when you come into a bigger team and you need to showcase what your skill set is and how to do that. So I love the fact that you've built that culture within your team to make that happen. I want to talk about events because events are very important, especially when you are a massive, huge global business such as yourselves. So why are physical events so crucial for you guys? And I do see you at a lot of events every year. You spend a lot of money going to multiple events all over the world and different types of industries as well. You're not always at Forex events, you're at traditional affiliate events and influence events as well. So why are physical events so critical for you? And are you attending big events in the LATAM region or is it global and the affiliates come to you?
So we have the global events that we definitely attend every single year, and we have the local ones. It's for sure because we need to go local as well. Why it's so important for us, why it's matter, because especially in LATAM region, they want this personal touch. They want to network with the real people and talk with the real partners. It's crucial if you would like to set up this long-term partnership because the people wants to talk with people actually.
So another cultural nuance of LATAM is that they want to see you, feel you, touch you, shake your hand and make sure that you're a real person.
Yes, one of the successful events that we held this year was IFX LATAM. This is actually the trading event organized for the second time in Mexico, in LATAM region. And we sponsored one of the opening party and a lot of partners and competitors as well get to know about our brand more closely. And it was very successful for us because we also gained the award Best Affiliate Program in LATAM region during this time. I would say in general, the events is one of the main channels of hunting and acquiring the partners and affiliate. And one of the most effective, I would say, because you establish the real relationships. And after that, it's pretty much easier to negotiate with them and to onboard them and get some result right away after the event.
Okay, so we're getting to the fun part of the podcast now where I'm going to do some rapid fire questions to both of you because we've spoken about the cultural nuances. We've spoken about the need to go slow and actually build micro trust with people. We've spoken about making sure that your team is ready to actually enter into emerging markets and know how to work together to actually meet the end goal. Why do you think the trading space has been dominated by CPA models traditionally, and do you see that evolving? Nira, I want to come to you and talk about the commercial side of it because that also impacts the growth of your program so quickly. You diversified out of just revenue share. You've got CPA models, you do hybrid deals, you do a lot of things that some of the other brokers and big trading firms don't do. How did you approach that? Because you guys are not risk averse, but everything that you've done has been measured based on the data from the intelligence that you've gathered from local marketplaces. You make strategic decisions. So what was the strategic decision about diversifying out and offering that CPA?
You said it yourself. We're a data-driven company. There's so much data that we have from the past 17 years that company is in the market, and there's so many employees that this is what they do. They help us, they support us, they find the new markets that we need to push, and we build it. They guide us and we make it happen.
Just being intuitive with what the market is leading you to do rather than you leading the market, which I see a lot of brands do. A lot of brands will go, oh, we need to be better than our competitor. We're going to do this. But they haven't actually done the research to find out, is that actually what the customer segment wants? Is the customer segment interested in a new offer? Or are they interested in flashy videos on TikTok? Like, who are we talking to and what's our customer audience? And I think that's one of the things that you guys have got down well, because you're using all of that data, because you're looking at what's happening in the marketplace around you. You're matching the marketing strategy to what your execution is. And that is how it's been able to grow. So it's not fast and furious. It's slow and measured and steady and considered. And yes, it might be slower, but ultimately you're ending up winning the race because you're one of the biggest traders online. So I think that's really good tactics for people to listen and learn from this podcast together with you guys, to understand that sometimes slow and steady does win the race. You don't have to be hard and fast just to get to the front. And you guys are proof of that.
I completely agree with you. And you know what? We don't concentrate on the fast growth anymore. I would say that we concentrate not on the quantity, but quality, first of all. And this is our main priority. We might slow down at some point of the growth and strategic development, but at the same time, in the long perspective, we're thinking about the effort that can bring us much more if we will carefully develop the strategy and make it more essential for the whole company and for our clients, our traders, first of all.
Okay. So I want you to give some advice, because it's great that you've shared your strategies. You've talked about the different things that you've had to learn to get into an emerging market like LATAM. But for somebody listening to this podcast and thinking about getting into trading affiliate marketing in 2026, if they want to diversify from their current affiliate portfolio, if they're, thinking about starting a side hustle, even if they're just a really serious affiliate and they're wanting to expand their portfolios, particularly in LATAM, as it is such an emerging market, what's your honest advice? What should they know before they get started? Give them one tip that you can advise them before they come and knock on your door. What do they need to get right?
I would say for the newcomers, for the new affiliates, if you would like to focus on LATAM, just pick a niche and concentrate on the real community and build the trust with your audience. This is essential things, first of all.
Data. They need to keep their data and analyze it all the time and not work blindly, not just launch and forget.
Assume nothing and check the data about everything. That's the model of the day. Okay, a couple of rapid fire questions to end us off for fun. Jana, one marketing tactic that every affiliate should steal from XNES.
Tell a story, make it emotional, make it matter. Nothing else works like this.
Love it. Nir, biggest myth about trading affiliate programs that you want to debunk?
I guess that you need to be a trader yourself. That's not true. Just find the right niche, promote there, blog there, whatever you think you can do, they will come. If the product that you offer is good, and this takes me to what we started talking about, we put so much in the product. When people use our product, they want to stay. And this helps affiliates to get more money and to stay with us for much longer.
We have a saying in English, and I don't know if it's appropriate to say it here, but what the heck, I do it anyway. You can't gild a turd, and every marketer knows that. So make sure that your product is as good as what you're expecting your affiliates to sell it, because they're not miracle workers. They can spin a story, they can find traffic sources, but if the product lets you down at the end of the day, you're just simply not going to grow. So feed that product information back to your product teams when your affiliates tell you about it. One cool tool or platform every serious affiliate should have.
Specifically in LATAM, I would say they need to have some kind of access to AppsLayer or any other MMP, because mobile seems to be king there.
Good to know. Both of you complete this sentence to round us off. In 2026, the biggest opportunity for affiliates in LATAM is
local communities.
I would stick with my last answer as well. Phones, mobile.
Okay. All right. And that concludes our podcast for this week about understanding how a global business has taken their affiliate program from 18 countries to 115, which is just phenomenal in such a short space of time. They've grown their team. They have put together structures, processes, and really focused on the long term in order to make that growth happen. So guys, it always looks easy from the outside. You've heard the story here. A lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of process, a lot of data, a lot of looking at the numbers to understand how to actually localize and build that community. And I love the fact that both of you spoke about community in this podcast, because to me, that is going to be one of the biggest trends that we see affiliate programs succeed in 2026. And you guys are already there. So thank you so much for being on the podcast with me today and sharing your knowledge. It's been a pleasure to host you both. And we look forward to seeing you at the next big event.
Thank you so much for having us today and wishing everyone the great success next year.
Bridget, I'm very annoyed.
Why are you so very annoyed, Tim?
I try very hard to stay in touch with all the tips, trends, and developments in affiliate marketing, but I feel like everybody else gets the news before I do.
That's because you're not on Affiversemedia.com. That's where the industry leaders get their info.
Affiversemedia.com.
Yes, go to Affiversemedia.com. You'll be happy you did.